Here we are today bringing you some 1989 Flair baseball cards. All right. So here I'll show you them, and then in the back we'll see what they have, huh? So here's Mark Langston, a pitcher. And on the back side, a little bit about Mark. The year and clubs that he's played. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. Now if I go too fast, you can always pause the video if you want to check out all the scores, especially if you've been to the game or you know someone who's been to the game. It's really kind of cool. Something to talk about. Here we have Edgar. A little bit about Edgar. Clubs and years that he's played. Now remember, this only goes to 1989. And the did you know fact. I always find those so interesting. And the before and after the All-Star break. Next we have Bill. And the sound of a love dove in the background. Okay, a little bit about Bill. And the clubs and the years that he's played. Of course, he didn't start till 85, and this only goes to 89. So I'm sure his career continued. And then before and after the All-Star break. Next we have Mike Moore. A little about Mike. Clubs and years that he's played and his totals down there. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. Next we have Jim Presley, third baser. He looks physically fit, don't he? Looks pretty tall too. 6'1". Yeah, he is. Okay. Years and clubs that he's played and his totals. Before and after the All-Star breaks. His batting average is getting right up there. When you hit like 300, then you're doing really good. Ray, shortstop. Here's a little bit about Ray and the years and the clubs that he's played, along with his totals. And Ray has a did you know fact. 12 homers. Great job. I bet his career continued beautifully. And before and after the All-Star breaks. Next we have Jerry Reed, a pitcher. Add a little more light to the whole thing. That's a little bit about Jerry. Years and clubs that he's played. He started way back when, huh? 77. So see, he had quite a career, huh? Done good. And before and after. Well, I guess not quite so good. Well, at least he didn't have no losses. All right. He stayed with it. Next we have Harold Reynolds. Second base. Ugh. You gotta be physically fit for all of this, I'll tell ya. It's a little bit about Harold. Years and clubs that he's played, and his totals at the bottom. He's done pretty good with his batting average. Okay, Mike Schooler, a pitcher. A little about Mike. Clubs that he's played. Of course, he only started in 85, so he's only got a few years here. Clubs and years, his totals, and a did you know fact. Ooh. He's got some good wins under his belt. Bill Swift. A little about Bill. Clubs and years that he's played and totals. Of course, he didn't start till 85. This only goes to 89. So I'm sure his career continued. The before and after the All-Star breaks. Next we have Dave. Oh, look at that. He's on the run. Putting his bat down nicely. Great. We like that. Good job, Dave. He's a catcher. I always like to see them practice safety. Shows others how to be. Year and clubs that he's played. His totals. Before and after the All-Star breaks. Batting average is getting right up there. Home runs. Ooh, great. Next we have Steve, a pitcher. A little about Steve. Years and clubs that he's played and his totals. Before and after the All-Star breaks. Phil Bradley, outfield. A little about Phil. Years and clubs that he's played. The before and after the All-Star breaks. Now that's a batting average. That's great. Huh? Look, he hit the 300. You hit the 300, man. You're something. Okay. Don Carmen. A little about Don. Years and clubs that he's played. before and after the All-Star breaks. Here we have Bob, an outfielder. And a love dove in the background here. A little about Bob. Years and clubs that he's played. Before and after the All-Star break. Next we have Marvin, Freeman, a pitcher. A little about Marvin. Years and clubs that he's played. The Did You Know fact. And the before and after the All-Star break. Todd Forthwith, pitcher. Isn't that funny how it left that line right in his face like that? Printing error, I think. A little about Todd. The years and clubs that he's played and his totals. A Did You Know fact. And then before and after the All-Star break. Greg Ross, outfield. A little about Greg. Some of the clubs and years that he's played. He started all the way in 70. So you get to 89, you got 19 years worth here. He really took up the card. Okay. And then before and after the All-Star breaks. Long-time player. Kevin Gross, pitcher. A little about Kevin. Years and clubs that he's played. The Did You Know fact. And the before and after the All-Star breaks. Greg Harris, pitcher. A little about Greg. Some of the clubs and years that he's played. He started in 77, so he's got a long list here. His totals. and before and after the All-Star break. Vaughn Hayes, outfielder. A little about Vaughn. Years and clubs that he's played. His totals. And the before and after the All-Star break. His batting average is getting right up there. Pretty good. Chris James, outfielder. A little about Chris. Years and clubs that he's played. The before and after the All-Star break. Here we have Steve, shortstop. There's a little bit about Steve. Years and clubs that he's played. His totals down there. And the All-Star break. Here we have Ron Jones, outfield. A little about Ron. The years and clubs that he's played. His totals. And some did you know facts. Go ahead, I'm almost done. Okay. We have Rick Jordan, first base. Look at that smile. A little about Rick. Years and clubs that he's played. His total scores. And we have a did you know fact. And the before and after the All-Star break. And look at that batting average. Now that's what you want to see. When they hit close to that 300 and when they go over, you know they're good. All right, Ricky, you done a good job. All right, hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. We're not done with the whole set yet. Bye-bye now.